Roxanne fans, and welcome back to my world. And today is the second part of ranking every world final. The positions today will be 15th to 11th, so the top of the lower crust. So without further ado, enjoy. In 15th, we have the World Finals of the Forgotten Season, 2003. The biggest downside to this World Finals was the record lack of crashes, with this World Finals actually having the least number of crashes, counting both racing and freestyle, with only 4 in freestyle and 1 in racing. But speaking of that crash, it was some pretty awesome and satisfying carnage from Mike Botters and Black Stout. We also have my favorite run by Lupe Sosa and El Toro Loco, with the iconic save, then climbing into the top of the trailer to claim the field. As for the freestyle crashes, none of the 4 were even that good, with the trucks taking little to no damage from them, excluding Blue Thunder. Speaking of Blue Thunder, the Lyle Hancock Encore was really cool, and something I personally love, because I really found him to be one of the most impressive drivers in the sport. To end this position, this was easily the worst championship race in World Finals history. Just watch.
Turn, they're even. This is going to settle it. Both trucks overdrive the turn. They're both in trouble. Wolverine comes up and over.
Yeah, it is. In 16th place, we have one of the most destructive World Finals in history, 2004. Now, this was a very entertaining World Finals, but if you really pay attention, it's very bad quality. First of all, only 2 trucks filled their 90 seconds. The first being David Smith and King Crunch, which was cool because I absolutely love his truck. And the other was Tom's championship run, and only because he dragged around his broken wheel until the end. And despite that being impressively resilient, it was still brutally slow. Something that was pretty cool but also bad was the one and only 3-way tie, with a score of 31, which is way too low. And at this time, ties couldn't even be broken, so there really wasn't a clear winner. In my opinion, these championship runs were too short. However, no one can deny that Lupe's leap was one of the greatest moments in World Finals history. The Medusa knocking off Bounty Hunter was also iconic. The last plus is some unforgettable crashes, like power forward hitting that mobile.
He hammered the motor. He broke the motor home in half. He's going right back over though.
In 13th, we have one of the sleekest looking World Finals ever, 2015. Sure, the field was still cluttered, but this World Finals is actually really good. First off, the racing was so exciting. It was so memorable to watch Ryan Anderson win race after race in the same lane, looking so hot the entire night, before choking the championship with an amazing save, making it that much more heartbreaking yet memorable. Then in freestyle, we had a ton of great crashes, like Bounty Hunter's backflip, El Toro Loco's almost backflip, and Colin's crash. As well as Neil, Tom, and Poggen's incredible saves, the debut of Cody Saucier's pickup Monster Energy, and the awesome-looking zombie hunt. Plus, you have so many special designs. And other than the White Avenger, there was the gorgeous purple Gravedigger, Kane's gold Max D, Hawkins' beautiful green Gravedigger, the gold Titan, and Neil's jaw-dropping Candy Apple Red Max D. However, Mike Botters II did not deserve that freestyle championship at all. And not only that, almost all of the scoring that year was terribly unprofessional, almost as bad as JudgesZone.com. Most fans will agree that either Charlie Poggin or Adam Anderson undoubtedly deserved this championship. Both with amazing saves, huge air, and consistent momentum flows, and if either of them had won, this World Finals would be in the top 10. Sure, Overkill had 2 backflips, but Ryan Anderson also had 2 better backflips, with an almost identical run that was also a little bit better than his, with even greater air. Other than that, a great World Finals. At the bottom of the upper dozen, in 12th place, we have one of possibly the most intense World Finals ever, 2014. This was certainly the coolest Young Guns shootout competition, with Mike Botters becoming the first rookie to ever win a world title. Now for the main event. So Adam Anderson winning his 2nd straight racing championship in Gravedigger Legend was pretty cool, with him beating Dennis in the semifinals, before becoming the 2nd driver to Dennis to beat Tom Mintz in the championship race. That's great. As for freestyle, the cons are pretty obvious. First of all, the track was way too cluttered, with far too many of the trucks braking before getting a relatively decent run in. However, this is what makes the championship run so much more impressive.
With a team based in Temecula, California.
Oh,
What, are you kidding me?
What was
Honestly, Tyler Duke's run is the only reason this World Finals is above 2015. I think this is my favorite World Finals run ever. The LeDuc leap at the beginning never gets old, and is my favorite move at the World Finals ever. Plus the 2 backflip attempts, though the second wasn't enough of a rotation to count. Then the awesome cartwheel at the end. There also were some pretty great memories at this World Finals separate from that. Like Cam McQueen's reverse backflip attempt, the Doomsday Encore, which was one of my favorites, Tom's perfect save.
You got good timing on that, Frank. Look at that, it recovers.
One of the greatest Avenger designs of all time, and probably Dennis Anderson's most iconic crash. You also have Lindsey Wing's satisfyingly chaotic barrel roll to remember. Other than that, this World Finals was pretty rough.
Let's jump right out of the gate.
Look at that, just another one right in.
The last position of the day, at the top of the lower crust, is another incredibly intense World Finals, 2010. Like 2014, this track was a bit too tough, but the fact that Dennis Anderson called the track crew out for it, saying,
"Raise the bar just a little too much this time, I think, guys,"
was a pro in and of itself. This track resulted in the lowest score average in Monster Jam history, including 3 scores of 4, making for a very ugly World Finals. But why then is this in 11th place? Simple. To start, you have possibly the greatest Avenger design of all time. Then 5 memorable racing crashes, my favorite being King Crunch's. Then Charlie Pauken's run was absolutely incredible, though I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as Todd's. But there are 2 things that really take this World Finals to higher levels. The first of which being the greatest possible mashup in history. Tom Meents versus Dennis Anderson. Gravedigger versus Maximum Destruction. The greatest rivalry in motorsports, competing in the World Championship race. There is no race you can come up with that could possibly be more iconic than this. It is impossible. And the fact that Gravedigger wins makes it even better, making Dennis Anderson the first of 2 drivers to beat Tom in the final race in Sam Boyd Stadium. The second one is the Gravedigger Encore. This is easily the most iconic moment in Monster Jam history. For while that race was an iconic concept, people remember this climax more than anything. Between Ryan Anderson in the red primer truck and Dennis Anderson in the black and green wrecking machine. Adam also came out to debut the new Gravedigger the Legend after the blue panel truck that came directly after the mud truck. But he crashed before the climax, so that's too bad. Not that it changed anything for the fans. With that said, this will conclude the second part of ranking every World Finals. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit the like button so I know. If you don't want to miss part 3, be sure to hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when it comes out. And without further ado, be great, stay awesome, drive.